Thanks for joining me today. Got a little job on. We've got the Astra H, and we've got to change the tie rods. These are on the ends of the steering rack. They get playing them and they give us all kinds of problems with wobbling, loose steering and stuff. That's what we're looking at, something like that. Now, also, I've got some new track rod ends, which we're going to put on as well. And I've got the tool for the job. Now, I bought this tool. This is a new one. This is called a steering rudder wrench. You'll like this. And it's something like that, because these are really awkward to get at. So I'm hoping this tool is going to do the job. I've not used one of these before, so it'll be a bit of a learning curve, but we'll give it a go. I'll put all the links for the parts and the tool in the description for the Amazon shop. So yeah, let's crack on and see how we get on. First thing we're going to do is get the car up in the air, on the jack, axle stands, and take the wheels off. Let's have a bash. So we'll get the car up on the jack. This is gone underneath the sill there to get that up in the air. Then we can drop that axle stand in under the main rail that runs down the centre. So there's two of those big rails underneath there, and we can pop it on that and drop the jack down. And then we'll go around the other side and jack that one up as well. If you keep the jack under this side, it's got a safety lock on it, so it almost is like it doubles as an axle stand. And we'll keep that there nicely locked in, it can't come down. So this is where you can really see what the problem is. Now the car's jacked up, if I get hold of the wheel, can you hear that movement? There's nothing top to bottom, doesn't go anywhere. Side to side, we've got play, and that plays in the arm. I'll show you a bit more detail. Let's go around the other side and show you that one as well. This one's worse, it's got a bit more in it. There's quite a bit there. Again, nothing top to bottom, it's all in the side to side. I'll turn the steering full lock and then bring you in here. You see the steering, this is the tie rod here that goes into the steering rack. And where the play is behind that boot. If I move it, so let's whip it apart. So we'll pop the wheel off. Got a locking wheel nut on there. We'll just whiz those off with a gun. This is the Milwaukee gun. It's fantastic. I'll pop the link in the description if anybody's interested in it. They are brilliant. What a bit of kit. And we'll have that wheel off. I'll stick that under the car there just in case. Gives us a bit more protection. These have got little plastic caps on them that keep the nuts nice and sort of, so they look nice. And we just pull those off with a pair of pliers before we can get to the nuts. Again, we'll just whiz those off. And we'll have that wheel out of the way as well. Same thing again, slip it under there out of the way. And here it is. That's his tie rod. You can hear that play. Let's get the bonnet up and we can have a look under there, see if there's any room. I'll show you. I know there's not, but we'll have a look anyway. You can barely see anything from the top at all. Very, very little. Okay, let's have a little look underneath in the seat where we can go with this. Okay, so we can see the clip there and we can see the clip there, so that's great. We can pop those clips off, which will pull that boot back. That's really nice. First thing we've got to do is crack off this nut on the retaining side of the track rod end, and then we've got to take off the little nut there that holds the track rod end into the hub assembly. So we're going to crack this one off first. So I've got my big old spanner, and let's see how tight this one's going to be. Get it all the way on, and then we'll give it a whack. There we go, something's happened. Yeah, that's cracked off, which is good, and it's turning within here, the whole lot's spinning, so that's brilliant. So we'll go with that for starters, and then we'll get this one off of here. I think that's going to be a 19. Yeah, that is a 22. Sorry, that is a 21mm spanner for the track rod nut there. I'm just going to put a little bit of lube on that before I take it off. This is the Worth Rostov Plus, absolutely fantastic. I put a link in the description for it. I'll just put a little drop on the end of that just to help that off. That's rid of that. And now we should be able to give this a whack and that should come up. So let's have a go. If you don't want to give up lightly, I can always put the ball joint splitter on it. There it goes. Yeah, bingo. That's popped up out of there. I could always put a splitter on it if I needed to, but that's now come out, so we're good with that. Okay, now I can actually turn that off the end of that now. We need that off to get his tool on. I'll leave that one in place because we'll use that as a marker in a bit on the new one. Okay, that's that out of there. This isn't actually worn, but I've got some new ones because I wasn't sure. We'll have a new one on there anyway. Okay, now we've just got to split the boot. Let's crack the boot off. I'll give that a little squirt now as well. On the end of that, we've got a little clip there. We squeeze that in. And pull that back. This boot feels mighty tight on there. Looking at that, I've got a feeling that's not going to come off very well, but we will see. Okay, let's break that clip there. I have to replace it with another one. Oh, it's a bit fiddler. Come on, get a grip, man. What's wrong with you? It's only a little clip. These can be quite tricky to cut through. I've not got a lot of leverage on my pliers. Give it a little twist and a... Oh, the suspense is killing me. There we go. So that's that one off. Should be able to pull that boot back now. Might need a screwdriver behind it. Just work his way around it. And then try and just prise it off. The key with these is sort of slow and steady really, because last thing I want to do is put a screwdriver through it and split it. So if I just gently work my way around it and then just try and work it off, just ease it off. It's coming slowly, but I don't want to, like I say, put a screwdriver through it. There we go. And that's off of that, and that should now reveal what we need to see from the other side. Let's have a look. Okay, so that boot is now free from there. We're going to have to try and get this off, so I'm going to have to shift this nut off of here to get the boot off. So let's put a spanner on there and see if we can't work that off now. Okay, so let's grab hold of that with the pair of grips and then see if we can't get it off with so I'll grab hold of the adjuster so that it's got a segregated bit there on it. I'll try the mold grips. Let's just find out what size spanner it actually is. I think it's a 13, looking at that. Yeah, so you could get a 13mm spanner on there and hold it. I'll try it with the grips first. There we go, that came off nice and easy. The little clip there wants to come off as well, so we'll have that out of the way. Okay, so let's just see if I can persuade that to come over this lip here. I'll just work my way around that, just free it off, try not to split it. It is made of hard plastic, so it's quite tough, but then also you don't know how brittle it's going to be. There's a bit of corrosion on this arm here. Let's see if that will come now. Here it comes. Here it comes. So it's just a pull and twist in motion. Pull and twist, pull and twist. Okay, look, and that's the boot off of there. Revealing the dastardly bit. And this is where his problem is there. The wear, how loose this is, and the wear is in that. It's all in that joint there. So, let's grab his new tool and see if we can get that off with ease. So here we go, this is the bit of kit. It looks like that. You could struggle with a spanner and get one in there, but it's such an awkward place to get at. I'm hoping this is going to go in there, grab hold of that, and then undo straight off. So let's get a, let's go and grab a 1/2 inch ratchet and an extension. Okay, there we go, 1/2 inch extension, clips into that. We'll slide that over there, get it into a position where we can grab hold of it. Just look at that, it's going to be on that bottom side there, somewhere like that. Line that up, we'll get the ratchet in there, and then hopefully we can get it in, ease it off. It's bit into it, I just need a bit more leverage. I think another extension on there and get the bar on it. Okay, let's just do this again. So I've got a second extension now, which is going to give me loads more freedom. Get that in there, get that to lock out onto that. I can now clip the bar on the end of that and give myself plenty of purchase on it. Oh, what happened? Did it go or did it just slip? No, it's gone. Brilliant. Oh, I like that. That was tight as well. Can you imagine trying to do that with a spanner? And now that will just whiz off there. Delightful. That is a cracking bit of kit. There it is. Let's get the new one in there. Okay, so these are the move parts. There's a part number for you if you want it. They're not sided, They are the same both sides. I'll just do a comparison of the two. They are slightly different looking, but the lengths are right. The lengths are the same on them. So going from that there, look, exactly the same lengths. Just this has got a bit of more to grab hold of. Ooh, them ends don't look right. They look different sizes. Oh, the penny's dropped. They are different. Let's just shove it in there and see. Oh, it's the wrong one. It's the wrong bloody one. You little git. Okay, so here we go. I've been and swapped out the wrong parts for the correct parts. Part number being that one there, and hopefully these will do the job. Again, let's get them out of the packaging. And that looks much more like what the old one did, doesn't it? And it fits. Yeah, here we go, look, wicked. So let's get these ones fitted in. You can see from that straight away how much stiffer that is. There's no play in that. That's really, really solid. I'll just wind that on as far as I can by hand. I should be able to get it all the way down. The threads are nice and clean, and it's gone on quite easily. And then again, using this tool, we'll do it up with this. It is quite fiddly to set it up to get it to initially lock into well, just to get it in place where it'll grab. You know, it slips a lot until it actually gets on the flat surfaces, but once it's locked in, there it is. It's got it now. Bit. Oh, it's just slipped. Let's go again. Okay. So that is up tight. Okay, I'm just going to find a Jubilee clip that will fit that boot properly. Okay, so I've got a Jubilee clip there that's pretty spot on. So we can feed this back over the old boot now and make sure that's pointing the right way. Actually, when I'm doing it up, I want that facing round. I want it facing that way, so I can get a ratchet on it and do it up even, get it to the correct position. Okay, so that's that half there in. I'm just going to feed that back over that one. If I turn the steering in again. Oh, put it a bit too far. Go and put it all up. Just sit that over now, hopefully. Like that. And then we'll get his Jubilee clip. It's really fiddly to get up there. There's not a lot of space, there's not a lot of room to get at it. And that tool, can you imagine trying to do this without that tool? Using a spanner. We can get that quarter drive on there now and just whiz that Jubilee clip up nice. Get it into place, that will hold it in really well. Not going to over tighten it. Okay, and make sure that's in all the way around, and then we'll just nip that up. This is a great little ratchet. It's the snap-on with the rotational head on it. It's really, really useful for these tight spaces. There we go. Beautiful. I can pop the clip back on this end of the boot as well. There it is. That's that on there. Now we just take the old, and we can see how far down the threads we were with the original one. So that is pretty much all we're going to do, is get the new nut. We'll spin that on there to a point where it was where the old one which was just there, like that. Can you see that? We've got this new track rod there, track rod end. Take the top off that. Pull this plastic protector thing off. And we'll wind that on. Oh, if I get the right side, make sure these are sided left and right. Right hand, yeah, this is the right one then. The only reason that is because they've got a little bit of shape to them, look. That like little bend in it. Down to that position, then we shouldn't be far away. So I'm going to go for that there. Just lock it off at that. Put that back in there. Put the lock nut on there. We'll wang that up nice and tight. There we go. That's that in. Okay, we'll just that loose at the minute. We'll track it up, just make sure it's dead right before we finish. Let's go and do the other side. Before I do that, I'll just stick this wheel back on, just put it in with a couple of nuts, because it's going to have to come off again when we track it up. So this is the other side. We can pop that clip off. Again, not a lot of space there, it's quite tight. Using the screwdriver again, we can just lever that boot off. We'll just pop it off. Here it comes. Ooh, there it is. Lovely, lovely. That's the first bit. We'll crack off that adjusting nut there as well. Give that a good bang. Just, oh, it's tight. It's tight. I might have to come at it from underneath. Slip that on there. Just a bit dirty on the thread. But you think how much spray's been gone over that over the years. There it is. That's cracked that. Brilliant. With that spanner out of there. Get it out of the way. We'll take that nut off the trap rod end there. We can then bash that and it will come out. It'll just ping up in a minute. There it goes. And then we can pop the clip off. Oh no, we're not going for the clip, we're going for the unwind. Let's unwind. Unwind the trap rod first. Get that out of there. We'll whiz that nut off. There it is. Get that out of the way. That Milwaukee gun. What a bit of kit. What a bit of kit. Now we've got the clip off and we're just pulling that boot off. There we go. That's that out of the way. Now, how tight is this side going to be? What do you reckon? That's really worn and loose, look. That's a right warm one, that is. Let's get his tool in there again. This side is a little bit tighter than the other side. You really are short of room, but this tool goes in, look. Fits.
grabs and bites, and the tighter you twist it, the more it locks in. It's got like a claw action. I'll get my big knuckle bar on there again and try and keep the tension on it, as I'm going to... that's half the battle, is keeping the tension on so it doesn't slip while you're faffing about. And then, bang, there she goes, look. Oh, it's great, isn't it? What a bit of kit. Look at it spin that round. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. We can whiz that off. New one in. We'll whiz that up. We know it's right this time. Look how stiff that is. It just stays out all on its own. And we'll get his tool back in there and really, really tighten that up again. Get it up nice and tight. I'm quite happy doing it up with a ratchet. I'm not going to put the big bar on it again. Got enough leverage on there. I'm happy with that. Right. It is tight. That's good.
So I've got the boot with the new Jubilee clip on there.
Slip that in.
Get it pointing the right way. Let's slip that on. And then we'll wind the rack back again like we did before.
Get the clip on. Clip on one side.
Okay.
Jubilee on the other. We'll whiz the new track rod end on. Wind that up. Same as we did before. Put it to the same position as the old one. And then you know you're not going to be far out. I'm going to track this up with some gauges, but I've got another video where I track it up with string. So it's a string tracking. I'll put a link in the description. So if you haven't got any tracking gauges, you can track your car using a piece of string, and it works really, really well. So like I say, check the link in the description, and I'll pop that in there. Get that up nice and tight. This time I'm going to pop a cable tie around that end clip. The other one bent, so it's no good. We'll pop this cable tie around there, and that's going to do just the job. It's sat in a recess, nice and tight. Tidy little job. Let's have the wheel back on. And then drop it down off the jack. Get it on the deck. Axle stand out. Have this side down as well. Now I've got my trusty old Dunlop gauges here, so we'll just get those onto the outside of the rims, and we can just check our alignment and see if we're about right. Now it should be spot on because we've put them exactly the same as what they came off, so we shouldn't be far out at all with this. Just get them on nice and careful, and then we can have a look down there with the reflection in the mirror, and it tells us exactly what the toe in, toe out of the front tracking is. I just adjust it slightly and get a reading.
Okay, let's take it for a spin, see how central the steering wheel is, see if we've got any little tweaks to do, but we're about there on the tracking gauges, so let's have a little look and see what happens when we take it down the road. Steering is just slightly over to the right at the minute, so we just need to make a little adjustment on that. As I'm travelling down the road, the steering is just slightly over to the right a little bit, so I need to straighten it up, which moves the wheels. Obviously now they've gone like that way slightly, so I've got to pull them back in just a tiny bit to get that straight. So to bring that steering wheel back into line, we need to adjust both sides exactly the same, because we know we've got the tracking right, but we just need to make that steering wheel turn slightly. So what we do is just move this side in and the other side out, exactly the same turn. So I'm going to go quarter turn this side, quarter turn the other side, and then lock it up, and that's it, job done.
So it literally is just a quarter turn this side, quarter turn the other side, and then we can lock up the nice big silver nut, get that up nice and tight, and that is going to be exactly right. Exactly.
There we go, that's that done. We can lock this up. There we go, that's that one done. Here we go, let's give it a bash, see if it's all going straight. Everything's all tightened up now, so hopefully we've nailed it.
Better put my seatbelt on, don't want to get caught out.
Here goes nothing. Oh, the steering wheel is smack bang bob in the middle. That's a delight. So that's the first thing. Yeah, it's not pulling. It's nice. It's driving central. Really good. Really, really good. Really pleased with that. So I hope you enjoyed that video. The tool here was just a lifesaver. It really was a good bit of kit. Really impressed. It was a bit tricky, it slipped sometimes, but once you got it located into those nut faces on those arms and it grabbed hold of it, it really got some purchase, and we were able to crack them off and do them back up again. These are the old ones, and you can see how worn they are. I mean, there's just so much play. I can actually move them with my hands, you know, they're really, really loose. The steering rack on this car was the TRW model, which was the difference in the thread. There's a different, I don't know what the other make is, but it's probably a Zenith or something like that, but the thread was slightly different on that end, which was why the original ones that I bought were incorrect. But there is a difference. You can actually see the difference in the shape. So when you're buying some new ones, just check that your shape is the same as that. If it's got the full length nut head on it there, you've got the different rack, and you need to get that one. So yeah, track rod ends. These ones weren't worn out. They were still okay, but they've done 109,000 miles. So while we've got it all in bits, we banged some new ones on there as well. These are sided, got that little angle on, like we said before. All the parts, I'll put a link in the description for. All the tools, links are all in the description. So check them out. Click on them. Any comments? Always love your comments. Drop me some comments in there. Like and subscribe. The car is working brilliant. Thanks for watching.